Do you want to be a poet, but you're not sure what a poet is or how to be one? Have you tried writing poems but not sure if you're poetic enough? Are you a Swiftie? Do you want to join the Tortured Poets department? Do you make a living as a poet, have a published poetry book, and still don't know if you're poetic enough? Still unsure whether you give poet when you enter a room? Good news! This video will teach you how to be a poet. Capitalism edition. Hi, by the way, I'm Josie, I'm a poet, and this is the stupidest video idea I've ever come up with. It all started when I got into a habit of just buying makeup products called Poet. And then around the same time, a friend of mine shared an advert she got for a sex toy that was called The Poet. And I jokingly said, how funny would it be if I bought everything that was called poet, poem or poetry online to review. I actually bought all of these things months ago, but then got diagnosed with a chronic illness and haven't had the energy to do it. But do you know what? Do you know what helped me get on and make this video? Mama Swift, Taylor, Tay-Tay, my bestie. I'm genuinely convinced me and Taylor Swift would be friends if we knew each other. Taylor Swift has just released her album called Tortured Poets Department, and it felt like a sign from Mother telling me to make this video. But before we go any further, please make sure you like this video, comment down below with your favourite Taylor Swift song, and subscribe to my channel. I make videos about all things poetry and book nerdery. You can support the channel by buying me a coffee or joining me on Patreon. The links to do all of that are in the description down below. And I have my own book. It's called Faulty Manufacturing. You can buy it online anywhere good books are sold, but I totally recommend buying it from my website because I package it and send it to you and it makes me really happy, and I do a little dance every time someone buys one, so go ahead and do that, yeah? Okay, so first up we're going to start with the makeup. The only things I've got for this are eyeshadow and lipstick, so let me do my base and my brows and I'll be right back. This is the shade Poet from Anastasia Beverley Hills. And this is the thing that started it all. I did own the Maybelline liquid lipstick, but I don't actually own that anymore. And when I went to buy it again from the shop, the only thing that was there was from the tester, but I did get some B-roll of it, so you can see what it's like. It does not suit me at all, so I didn't buy it. So we're just going in with this lipstick. So that's how it looks, the lipstick. It's a really cool toned dark pink that, I'll admit, with no other makeup on, makes me look a little corpse-like. The only other bit of makeup that I could find was the Tarte Beauty eyeshadow palette, volume 1. Was there a volume 2? I don't know. But the Poet ones are here, these reddy pinky ones. I don't know how we're going to make this like a subtle makeup look. If you want to be a poet, step 1 is to wear this shade of lipstick by Anastasia Beverley Hills. Step 2 is to wear this eyeshadow look. Because if you don't do it, are you really a poet? Oh, she is a really reddy pink. A colour I personally love having around my eyes. Honestly, the things that I do to be taken seriously as a poet. Oh wow, this lipstick, I haven't worn it in ages and now I know why. I look horrifying if I don't say so myself, but trust the process. That's what they say, don't they? Trust the process. Come on, Jace, this is why you bought this bloody palette. By the way, no shops actually sell this palette anymore. Haven't done for years. I actually got this off eBay, which means it's probably well out of date, and I know that. And I'm not condoning that as a thing that people do. I do not recommend it. I just did it all for the joke. Covering it in shimmer is always going to be a solution that is open to us. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go out and do a really poetic activity after this in public, and how are they gonna know I'm a poet if I'm not wearing pink glittery eyeshadow? Note to self, wash brushes. Why didn't I wash my brushes before doing this? I'm gonna give myself pink eye. Get it? Because I have pink. Fucking hell. Boom. Now people will know I'm a poet. I've got to go and do errands after this. I have to admit, with the lip, bit much. Relax. Nobody move. I am doing eyeliner. I think the eyeliner can save this. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to level with you. I'm going to use Blend and Snap from the Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette. I know it's not strictly poetic. I know it's a reference to Clueless. But, like, what is a Clueless quote if not poetry? Yes! Makeup is a good place for all of this poetic naming. People come up with stupid names for makeup all the time, which is good for the exercise that is this video. This is called Fan Fest. Goes out to all my fans. My Human Beauty blush, which is called Protagonist Pink. And if there's one thing I can tell you about poets, it's that we all think we're the main character, so. Okay, so this is the finished look. What do you think? Okay, let's do outfits. I came across this brand called Poetry. They're a like high-end fashion brand based in London. That feels like high-end. It might not actually be high-end, but what I mean is expensive. The only thing I got from the Poetry brand is these Poetry shoes. For the top, we've got this billowy shirt. This isn't from the Poetry brand, but it is actually on Vinted, was listed as Poet's shirt. And look at the sleeves on that. One thing I did notice about the Poetry brand is that a lot of their stuff was very hobbitcore. And the only other pair of trousers that I own that's sort of hobbitcore is these elastic waistband trousers from Lucy and Yak. I'm not saying that the queer poetry community, if they were a Venn diagram, I'm not saying the Venn diagram would be a circle, but it'd be closer to being one circle than it would two separate ones. There's a overlap in the Venn diagram of queer poetry, and Lucy and Yak has that segment in an absolute chokehold. So we're going with Lucy and Yak. This is what a poet looks like. What do you think? To be honest, I think it's the shirt that does it. It's very Byron. It's very romantic poet. I want to go and talk to some daffodils and fuck a load of landed gentry's wives, I think. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Once I was all dressed up, I did the most poetic activity I could think of, which was go to a local coffee shop, write some poems, and look out of the window pensively. I also bought my poetry takeaway tote bag and finished up with reading Bed and Breakfast, the new chapbook from Emma Taylor. It's launching next week and it's really beautiful. It's all about chronic illness and I definitely recommend you check it out. But there is one more product that we have to review. Let's talk about it. So, this is called The Poet. Let me read you the description. Invoking a rosebud, the poet invites you to a moment of lyrical sensuality. Its delicate shape allows an easy grip to hold the product on your clitoral glands. The optimized air pulsation technology delivers deep and intense sensations, taking you from a gentle tease to a dramatic climax. Smile Makers is the correct name for this. I'd never seen one like this before, but it looks like this, and it has a mouth like this, and it pulses air, and yeah, it's pretty great. You're not watching this bit. I'll be back soon.
A few minutes later.
Hooey! Yep. Still good. Let me run through the things that I bought and whether I recommend them or not. The Poet lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It doesn't sit too heavy, which is nice, but I think it's really too cool toned for me. And if I've got to do it, I've got to find something to warm it up or add some glitter on it to make it on purpose. Tati Beauty eyeshadow. I didn't rate it. Maybe it's because it's a year out of date or however many years out of date it is. But it's bad. I don't like the whole palette actually. What a waste of money. This shirt, I love it. It's the most impractical thing in the world. This keeps coming undone. I keep accidentally flashing cleavage to random yummy mummies at the coffee shop. You're welcome. The sleeves are truly iconic. This has come undone. And when it's tucked in, I cannot lift my elbows above here. Truly impractical. 10 out of 10. Perfect for poetry. The trousers, not strictly part of this, but Lucy and Yak, you can't go wrong. The shoes, from poetry, I hate them. I hate a platform sandal. I feel weird. It also doesn't feel big enough for my foot. And the Poet from Smile Makers, absolutely, totally recommend. If you have a clitoris and you haven't tried one of these air pulsey ones rather than like a straight vibrator, I cannot recommend it enough. Pricey, very pricey. Most expensive thing I bought for this video as a joke, but definitely the thing I regret the least. So that's something to consider. So final conclusions. Do I think capitalism has got right Poet? No! Absolutely not. When it comes to makeup especially, the names that people give to shade names or lipsticks and stuff is ridiculous. And I love it. But it is stupid. I find it interesting that Poet, in the few places it has come up, is in a similar shade colouring. So maybe there's a subconscious thing that when we think Poet, we think maroon burgundy. We all know how to be a poet, right? To be a poet, you write poetry. Boom, done. You don't have to have a book out. You don't even have to have written poetry recently. If you have, at some point, written a poem, you are a poet. And so, this video was pointless. So if you're still watching at the end of this video, thanks so much for coming with me on this silly fun time. Like this video, comment your favourite Taylor Swift song. I fluctuate. My favourite Taylor Swift song at the moment is Lavender Haze. I love it. But also, my favourite Taylor Swift lyric of all time is Sometimes I Feel Like Everybody Is a Sexy Baby. Truly can't stop thinking about that one. Anyway, comment your favourite Taylor Swift song and your favourite Taylor Swift lyric, and subscribe for more poetry stuff. Support the channel, buy me a coffee, buy my book, please buy my book. No poetry collection gives Tortured Poets Department more than Faulty Manufacturing by Josie Alford. There, I said it, and I meant it. Truly, a book full of dealing with your complicated relationship with your dad because of alcoholism and domestic violence and him dying. It's a book full of daddy issues. And if that doesn't say Tortured Poet Department, I don't know what does. So buy my book. So buy my book. Join me on Patreon. I'm going to be starting regular writing groups on there. So that would be really cool. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.